Hi y'all, this is Regina. Welcome back to Regina's Crafting and More. I am stitching the first of the Patriotic Runner or door hanging or wall hanging. I'm making a door hanging out of mine, so I'll be putting my next block here instead of down here. This is the God Bless Thee block, and it's doing the quilting on it, and it's doing these sections separately because of the cutouts of the words. So yeah, you're going to have some little thread tails to cut on the back. And so the first color stop stitches around for you to place your batting. You're going to put your batting down, and then you're going to trim your batting back. And then you're going to center your main fabric on top of the batting, and it'll stitch it down, and then it'll start stitching the quilting, which is what it's doing right now. Alright, so I have some white on white stars on this. I'm hoping it's not going to be too distracting. If it is, I will end up stitching this block again. So I'll be back here in a little bit. Alright, so I think it's finished stitching the insets of the words that have open area on it. So it should start stitching everything else that connects to that now. And leave a space for the words, the God bless and thee. Oh, I'm sorry, that's for the D. That's the inner part of the D. Now it'll start stitching the rest of it. So this is the O, and this is the B right here. The inside of the B. Now I'm doing my quilting in a gray, a light or a silver, I guess you could call it. And I've put the quilting in the file as a silver or a very light gray. You can do it in whatever color you want. I would suggest something light unless you just really want it to pop out. It is stripes and stars. This particular one is from the Baby Lock Holiday Collection. I did not create this one. I did, however, take that design and I modified it and put USA in the stripes and used it for a file for the borders, for the outside border, the 2-inch border, or the 2.5-inch border. Or I'm sorry, it's a 2 1/4-inch border. So you got to take a quarter. Well, no, you don't. Anyhow, there will be a file for the border function. It'll be in the 4x12 hoop, the 7x12, and the 8x12 hoop. And then I split those files in half to give you half of a block, since you're supposed to start your quilting from the center of your borders and work your way out. I'll be back in a little bit. This particular file, my machine says it takes 32 minutes, and I don't know what speed this is at right now. I can't get into that function while this is working. But you've got all this quilting, and then you've got the words God bless thee that have to stitch. So there's 6 color stops. Alright, so the quilting is all done, and it's starting on the text. The God bless thee will be in red, and then these right here will be in blue. So this is color stop number 5. And I'll be back when a little bit more has been stitched. So let me go over the color stops. Color stop 1 is a placement stitch. It stitches on your stabilizer for you to center your batting on. Color stop number 2 stitches down your batting. Then you're going to put your fabric on top of your batting after you cut it back. You can see this is outside. I trimmed my batting back. So you're going to center your fabric over your batting, and then color stop number 3 will stitch your fabric down. Color stop number 4 stitches the quilting or the decorative fill, and then it starts with your embroidery design, and depending on the design there could be several color stops for that. This one has 6 total color stops. Alright, so the block is finished, and I'm going to take it out and I'm going to trim it to 6.5. Well, it'd be a 1/4 inch outside the lines, all these lines. It's going to end up being 6.5 inch, and that's what you'll want to do. You want to have it a 1/2 inch larger than is needed, a 1/4 inch on every side, because you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam to connect them. Alright, so I have trimmed. I've actually left a 1/2 inch here until I'm finished, and I'll trim this down to a 1/4 inch all the way around. And that 1/4 inch you will connect your blocks so that you have a 1/4 inch seam on the 1/4 inch seam whenever you put it together. Alright, so I hooped my no-show stabilizer, and yes, I spliced it together, and I did it on another block. It doesn't impact it at all. And I've stitched my basting or my placement line. You can well, you can see my placement line. So I've centered my batting over my placement line, and I'm going to stitch it down. Alright, I don't know why that's doing that. I'm going to have to check. It's not supposed to do that. I'll fix it. Alright, so that's my tack down line, which is color stop number 2. Now I have to put my fabric and center it. So I am stitching this 6x6 block, and as you can see, I'm using my 8-inch hoop just so that I have lots of room. I've got a little mark here for my center, and no, I don't have a mark on this one. I'm sorry. This is my center right here. So I picked this up and I looked to see how much I have, because I need to leave at least a 1/4 inch when I trim. I usually trim a 1/2 inch on each side until I'm ready to put it together, and then I trim it down. Yeah, that's another step, but sometimes I might change my mind, so I never know. I'm just going to leave a 1/2 inch out here. I've got plenty here, and when I come down, I've got plenty here, and I have plenty at the top. So yeah, I am cutting my fabric and my batting a little oversized, but better safe than sorry. So let me do the tack down. Number 3, color stop number 3 is the tack down after you put your fabric down. Alright, so I'm just finishing up the tack down. And you can see I have my silver thread in here, and that's what I'm going to use to do my decorative fill. Alright, so color stop number 4 is the decorative fill on all the blocks. And I'm going to show you. There's the block I'm doing. Alright, so it'll do all the stripes with the stars in it, and I'll come back when it's done. Alright, so my block has finished stitching this section, which is color stop number 6. And one thing I forgot to tell you is after you tack down your batting, you want to cut it back to the line. Now I just did a rough cut because I already had my fabric on here, but make sure that you cut that back. I will go in after I get this off and I'll cut that. Whoops, sorry about that. I will cut this back to the line. All right, so color stop number 8 is going to stitch this, this, and down here in this little area, it's the red, and it's going to stitch the red stars. So I'm kind of jumping around here. This is just kind of doing some backtracking on some stuff that you'll see in a minute. Hello y'all, sorry I inadvertently deleted the rest of the video on this, so I'm going to continue this block from my desktop in my software. So right here is, let me move this over a little bit. This is your placement stitch. Then you're going to lay down your batting covering the placement stitch. Color stop number 2 is going to tack down your batting. Color stop number 3, well, let me back up. So it'll tack down your batting, and you're going to lay your fabric over the entire thing, making sure that you have at least 3/4 to 1 inch overhang, so you can allow for shrinkage due to the embroidery and the quilting and any misalignment that you do laying down your fabric. All right, so then it's gonna tack down your fabric once you've laid that down, and then it's going to do the background quilting or decorative fill, all this back here. And then it's going to stitch this little part right here, and then we're back to this part that had already stitched in the video. So we're going to continue from there. So color stop, that's color stop number 6, is this part right here. Color stop number 7 is going to stitch this outside part. Now if you want this part and this part to be the same color, when it stops and cuts the thread, which it would have to do to jump up to here anyway, you can just hit go or start on your machine to have it start color stop number 8. Now if you wanted to make this part, the top of the bottle rocket, a different color red or a different color period, maybe you want to make it dark blue, you could change your top thread and stitch it dark blue. And then color stop number 9 is going to stitch this part here and these little stripes right here, and then you're done. So that is how you stitch out these blocks. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy.